Are you struggling as a DJ and producer on social media? Today, I'm joined by social media guru Andrew Leese for an in-depth chat and loads of tips to help you level up your social media as an artist and DJ. Let's jump in. Hey, it's Graham Farmer from Data Transmission, and today on YouTube, I'm joined by Andrew Leese. For those of you who might have heard him on my podcast before, he joined me recently on Twitch, and I'm a Twitch partner now. Did you see the video? And I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And he joined me for a lengthy, in-depth conversation about social media and social media for artists and DJs. Now, he's a real social media guru. He works with some legendary people like Archie Hamilton, Fuse, Rich Next, Ronnie Spiteri, and many, many more. And he gave me loads and loads of tips on my Twitch channel for how to level up your social media. Let's jump into the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Hey Andrew, welcome to the stream.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for having me.
That's all right. Thank you for joining me. Last minute, I literally messaged you last night and said, "Do you want to come on?" Welcome to Twitch. Welcome to my disco shed.
Yeah, man. I've never been on Twitch before, ever. So this is the first time I've ever been on Twitch. I've done YouTube Live, which was quite nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
but not on the level of this.
it's gonna be fun. So
get my giraffes in.
Get a giraffe in. That's it. We want. Have you named your giraffe?
Yeah. So I've got two. So I don't know if you can see it on the larger screen.
We can see one there. Oh, there's two.
So the taller one's named Rhonda, and the smaller one's called Letitia.
Right.
And I like to think of them as like black independent giraffes that live in the wild that you don't mess with.
That's amazing.
Obviously, I have to call them black giraffes because they are actually black and made of metal. So if you were to have, white and black giraffes in the wild, I'd like to think that they're like, you wouldn't mess with these people.
That's very cool. That's very cool. That's very cool. I love that. I name things all the time. It's cool.
So they were my sisters, and obviously my sister isn't with us anymore. But when she obviously had to collect things and move things, I was like, right, who's keeping these? And I was like, well, I'll have them. And I've never let them go. So they've been to London. They've been to 3 different houses in London.
Yeah.
And they're now back in Stoke-on-Trent with me.
Nice.
My ex-girlfriend used to be terrified of them. And if you play pranks on them, I'd literally she'd be in the shower and I'd be behind the shower curtain and I'd just sneak in, put a giraffe on the floor, and then as soon as she opened the shower curtain, giraffe. Or I'd put it in bed with me at night sometimes. And then she'd have to get in.
I love that. My best friend's got a Chucky doll. Chucky from the films? And he basically puts the Chucky doll in with his wife, and she wakes up next to Chucky.
Love that. Just play pranks on your that's one of the signs of a healthy relationship is when you can play pranks on your other half and they find it funny.
Yeah, I do it to Shelley. We have Alexa in our room, and she often sleeps in she'll have a heavy weekend and then sleep in and miss kind of alarms on a Monday, and I'll sneak up and I've basically got the Star Trek alert signs. So it's like bah, 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 bah. So I sneak in and I'll go Alexa, red alert. And it'll just go, bah, bah, really, really. And she's like,
You should make a TikTok of that. That would be cool. I like that. I wonder if there's a TikTok trend of people doing pranks on people with Alexas. I think that would be pretty cool.
I wonder have you got into the TikTok thing yet? Sorry, we'll start at the start. Right, well, welcome Andrew Leese to my Twitch stream. How are you doing, dude?
I'm really good, mate. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sweaty. Like I was saying earlier on the stream, welcome to all those people that are joining us from the front page. Hi, I'm Graham Farmer. This is my Twitch stream, and we do this on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We kind of help you as artists get further in the music industry. And this afternoon, we have got my friend Andrew Leese. He is a social media marketer, and he runs a thing called Socially Sound DJ, which he's going to tell us all about in a minute. It's amazing. So if you need help with your social media, he's the man. We're going to talk about social media loads. So let's jump into who you are and tell everyone about yourself, Andrew. Let's talk about this story.
Sweet. So I'm from Stoke-on-Trent originally, which has got for the older generation, there's a massive music history here. And I moved to Ibiza at 23, basically, because I didn't see myself working in the music industry in Stoke-on-Trent. And now I run a social media agency called Socially Sound. which is based on social media coaching, consultancy, and management, I guess. Previous work, Ibiza Spotlight for 4 years in Ibiza. So if you've ever used the clubbing calendar, or if you've ever seen the social media kind of like online, that was me for 4 years. International Music Summit, which is a big, like that's my Mix Mag cover. Like,
yeah.
Being on the front cover of Mix Mag is my equivalent of selling out an event at the top of a castle in Svenbath. And I also worked for Fuse for 2 years. So if there's any UK kind of like deep minimal tech artists out there, like Fuse for 2 years, which was really cool. And then worked with different artists as well, like Sasha Eats Everything, Enzo Siragusa. Work with Kevin Knapp at the moment, and Ronnie Spiteri. And I've just taken on Andy Caldwell, which is like an American nominated Grammy artist, which is like pretty cool.
That's
just taking
cool.
on just doing his new album, which is really interesting. Kind of like a little last minute, so we're not 100% there with the strategy and everything, but yeah, really interesting. Kind of like to work with an artist who's been nominated for a Grammy is like, that's pretty cool. I'm putting that at the top of my CV.
That's really sick. So that artist that you're working with from a Grammy point of view, like you're saying an album point of view, how long in advance have you got that campaign?
Literally, the album I joined in, and the first single had been out for 3 days. So like, they just the really beginning of it. They didn't really do a lot with the first single. They'd done a bit of announcements, but essentially the bit of a trend at the moment with everybody deleting their Instagram and starting again.
Yeah.
So he wiped his Instagram clean and basically didn't want to do too much with it because he wanted the social media manager to come in and go from zero to hero, basically, and go build this.
Yep.
So he's only got like 5K followers on Instagram, but his Spotify tracks have got like millions. So I don't know how that levels worked out. He hasn't got the Instagram following from all this. Yeah. So the campaign, I came in 3 days. We've just launched the remixes of the first single, and there's a couple of premieres out, and the album comes out on August the 6th. So we've got like 10 days ish until the album comes out.
Sorry, well, there's a trend of people deleting people's, like literally all the posts, I guess.
Yeah, all the posts, so they're archiving it. I did it with mine. I was like, right, I want to start completely fresh, because what happened 5 years ago on Instagram's just not relevant to my audience now. Like, I'm a totally different person. Like, I look different. I've got a beard. I was like, so yeah. I think a lot of event promoters are doing it. Like, Where Else Project do it at the end of every season.
Right.
Now. So they did it at the end of, like, obviously they haven't had events for 2 years. So it was like, right, 2019 Where Else Project is totally different to 2021 Where Else Project. So they started again. And London Grammar did it at the beginning of their music artist kind of thing. They basically went on a 9-month break. They didn't post anything on socials. So they wiped everything before it. It goes, right, brand new album. And we start from this first post, and it was like, right, we're going to be live on radio on tonight. Come and join us, kind of thing. So yeah, I think it's something like, I coach artists at the moment. And if you're not happy with the artist you were 2 years ago, and if you've got to make different sounds, wipe everything. Start again. And I think it can help, because people get a bit too protective of their Instagram grids.
Yeah.
Like, some people can't sleep at night if the colours aren't right or anything like that. And I'm a bit like, don't need to be like that. If you don't like anything that's on your feed, just archive it.
And there's a feature for archiving, because I've never done that. Yeah,
so if you go onto each individual post, you can literally go into the settings, you can click edit to edit the copy, or you can click archive. It's quite simple to do. But obviously, there's not like an app where you can go online and go, right, I'm going to select that one, and just do it all at once. You have to do it manually.
So it's painstaking, but
it is painstaking. Yeah, I did it with mine, and when I launched Socially Sound, I deleted I archived everything, and then after I'd done like 6 posts, I brought everything that I wanted to keep back.
Yeah.
Just so that people could find out a little bit who I was again, but on my terms, kind of thing. Like, I've been to Glastonbury the previous years. I've got some amazing photos. I wanted that to be on my feed, because if I'm an artist and I come to my page and go, got this guy that's preaching that he knows about social media, and then he sees a picture of me at Glastonbury, he might think, okay, this guy's got similar interest to me. And it's a building trust phase. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
I had one guy who joined, one of the first ever guys who found it. Might have been from your podcast, actually, that I did with you. And he came onto my Instagram and goes, right, I saw a picture of you talking about how good Houghton was and Villa Lobos. He's my favourite DJ. I joined your membership just because you like Villa Lobos. I was like, okay, sound.
That's
and
cool.
then that made me realise just how much like what you post really does kind of like, I think people don't really trust marketers, if that makes sense. Like there's always the scam, or there's always something like too good to be true.
Yes.
So I'm very much transparent about everything. This is why I tell people, this is why I'm doing this. I want you to click here. I want you to start trusting me, because I'm not trying to gain you access to your Facebook audience so I can sell it to somebody else. Like, you know, I'm trying to just keep this. I'm a music fan. I'm building my audience just like you are. I've got 1,600 followers, and like I look at yours and go, right, 11K or whatever you're on now, but you've been doing this 12.1. So there you go. Like I look at that and go, okay, cool. That's the market. There's 12,000 people that like Graham, and I need to work out how I'm different from you, but also what have you done that I can do, you know?
I do the same. I do the same with a couple of other people as well. That are like 100,000. I'm like, well, there's 100,000 in that group, or 50,000 in that group. How can I? They're my target audience. So I guess that's definitely one thing, is like who I know, like you know who your audience is. That was one thing I was talking about the other day from an artist point of view, like trying to understand your audience and who that actual person is that's going to follow you, I guess.
At the beginning, I think as an artist, I think you get really excited when a DJ follows you, because it's, oh my God, like X DJ's just followed me and it's supporting my music. Whereas like ultimately you need to get more excited about when fans follow you.
Yes, I agree.
Because that DJ might buy £5 to £6 worth of music from you, or he might buy a vinyl, or he might book you if he's a promoter, but the fans are going to make you more money.
Definitely
than the DJs.
Streams.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone that's joining us this afternoon from the front page of Twitch. Hi, I'm Graham Farmer. This is my channel, and on this channel we talk about social media for artists. We have live interviews. Andrew Leese is joining me right now. He's a social media marketer, and we're talking about his story and the artists he's worked with some big artists on their social media. And right now we're on Socially Sound DJ. Tell us about that, dude.
So it's Socially Sound DJ is a consultancy platform. Basically, it's a membership platform. It's £70 a year, and basically I have coaching on top of it. So there's 3 different tiers of how you can work with me. You can join a membership, or you can be working coaching.
Yep.
It started, and I had the idea before the pandemic, but some people told me not to do it. It's like, no one cares about that kind of stuff, mate. Don't worry about that. And then the pandemic, so Archie Hamilton's a really good mate of mine, and he texts me saying, can I take you out for lunch? I need some help with my social media. And I was like, well, hold on a minute. If Archie Hamilton, who has a manager, a booking artist, a bookings manager, all the way through the pandemic, is struggling with what he should be doing on social media, what about everybody else? So I started basically a consultancy platform. Archie was my first client.
Yeah.
And basically I am a coach. So the way I describe it is, if you're Logan Paul and you're going 8 rounds with Floyd Mayweather, I'm the guy you come and speak to round 4. Nice. And go, what do I need to do differently? Do I need to do jabs? Do I do this? So essentially, I'm the guy that goes, right, I'm launching an event and I've got 100 signups and I need 500 because I need to sell 1,000 tickets. And what can I do more? Call me. I'm that guy that can help. Or it's, I've got 50,000 streams on the track. How do I double it? Or how do I I've got 1 million streams on the track. How do I double it? Like, there's always something I can do with you, whether you're like from 0 followers or you have big audiences. It doesn't matter. So there's always something that you can do. And it might literally just be, I'm at ground zero and I want to do a logo, and I'll tell you to stop concentrating on the logo because the logo is not going to do me anything. So I'm that guy that will get you. If I could describe my business, the elevator pitch, it's I help artists think like marketers. I help you think like me.
So that's what I do with these streams, try and empower artists to just understand all the aspects of what you can be as an artist, because some people get it straight away and they're like, right, I want this to happen, I want that to happen. And some people they'll focus so much on making the track that they kind of get there and go, what do I do now with it?
The Grammy artist that I'm working with, Andy, he's just an album and he's got 8 tracks on it. He's got 7 different vocalists, and not once did they record the whole process. And it's like, mate, you've been in the studio with these artists. You're in LA. You've got an amazing studio. and you've not recorded any of this. There could
That's
be
incredible.
a documentary. There could be a documentary. There could be. I go back to the moment of when Daft Punk did their album and they sat everyone down and Pharrell talked about what it was like to work with them, or what the vocalist was like to do the vocals with them in the studio. It's like, even if you're just ground zero, you can still record your whole process, because as soon as it comes to recording the process, as soon as you come to the album, go, right, I've just made an album and I recorded it from day 1 to now day 48 and the album's done. Obviously, if you make an album in 48 days, fair play. But like, you know what I mean? It's like, if so I'm the guy that can help. If you come to me and go, I'm making an album, the first thing I will do is record every single step you do. Because then when it comes to marketing it, you've got 8 weeks worth of content.
That's incredible.
So I help people do that. And that's what I can help with, basically.
Let's talk about ground zero artists, because I'm sure that if you're a ground zero artist in the chat, if you've got literally no following, but you've made some music, give us a little wave or a little hi or a little, let's see who's in the chat and see if there's any ground zero artists in there. Like literally you're starting your process, you've made a bit of music.
So I've got a little thing that's going to help people here, right? I ask people, one of the first things I ask people is, what kind of DJ are you?
Yep.
Because there are different ways of, everyone plays in clubs, right? Or wants to. But are you a DJ that's going to start a radio show? Is your aspirations to be the next Jaguar or the next Annie Mac? Or you could even be Ben UFO, who is an NTS DJ or a Rinse FM DJ. And then are you a promoter DJ? Are you like, I want to be the next Enzo Siragusa or Youssef, and I want to start because I'm a resident at this nightclub. This is my party. In 10 years' time, I want people to come play for my party, but I want to be that guy that's built this brand. So I ask people what kind of DJ they are, and that helps them a lot, because if you're a DJ that wants to start a radio show and in 5 years' time you want to be on NTS or Rinse, be a radio DJ and make that the solid foundation of your social media strategy for the next 5 years. Even if you're just starting uploading it to your own SoundCloud, do it monthly or do it weekly.
There you
Are
go.
you starting as a promoter? Are you starting as a radio DJ? Are you a personality who's going to make music like Fisher or Waff? You know, like they've got a big personality about them and they can showcase it by just being themselves. It's like, that's one of the key points of what to start with, because Enzo Siragusa was doing doing events for 10 years before he did Fuse. Then Fuse stuck and he nailed it.
Okay, so Matt J for real, welcome to the stream, dude. He wants to be booked at label shows, but not to promote. I guess he wants to play for labels.
Yeah, so he needs to get the music signed to them labels, and then the way it works is like most label parties book the artist that they're working with for that next 2 months. So as you've got an artist with Dirty Bird later, if you want to get played onto Claude Van Stroke's parties or play on Dirty Bird Camp Out, which is one of my Kev was playing that, like he started by getting his music signed to Dirty Bird. So it might be that you need to look at all the people on that Dirty Bird Camp Out lineup and go, right, if Claude Van Stroke's at the top, who's at the bottom? How can I get my music to them? How do I get played on their parties? And then you build up to Dirty Bird Camp Out. And that's one of my biggest tips. It's like, look at posters, look at who's at the bottom, send your music to them. Once they're playing it, the next people will pick up on it. Then the next people will pick up on it. Like, start with the residents. Like, and then invite, if say you've got a radio show of your own, invite that resident onto your radio show. And then that like resident will then support a track that's on that label. And then you're in association with that label in a way. Then you've got to network it and get to know these people, kind of thing.
That's cool. I always think as well as looking at labels and seeing where the artists they're releasing from go to the labels they released on before that and other labels they released on, because you know those bigger labels are looking at the smaller ones as well.
Exactly.
And try and get to those ones first.
Yeah,
work backwards.
Yeah.
What's your best advice to play in the radio promotion service is too expensive? What's your best advice to play as a radio DJ?
Start your own. Like, not your actual station, but like, as Graham's on Twitch right now, right? Make it so that you have a radio schedule. So I've got a couple of friends where I'm from, and they've just started their own radio station, and they're now giving themselves their own opportunities. And there's a radio schedule. And say, for example, Graham's on that. Graham is on 3 till 5 on a Wednesday. and B, you can use Twitch, go live. You don't have to do that radio show. Go live on Twitch, make it interactive, make your own radio station, 2 hours, record it, put it on YouTube, put it on SoundCloud. Got yourself a radio station. Because these opportunities are there, and you can just go, right, this radio station is going to be on Twitch, and I am going to take the 7 till 9 slot on a Friday night because that's peak kind of thing. And you've got these opportunities now. You can do it on YouTube live. I'm Dirty Bird Live are doing like every night, aren't they? Or something like that at the moment.
So Dirty Bird do it every night on Twitch. Yeah, they do it every night on Twitch. There's also a radio station called Data Transmission Radio, and it's a whole radio station, which I own. And we take radio shows on all of the time. So if you want a radio show on our radio show, we don't charge. We charge very little. Like a monthly radio show is like 20 quid a month. Just because we've got to cover the staff, cover the expenses, cover the show. But gives you that radio show on our massive platform. We have like 46,000 followers on our radio page, and then 145,000 on my big SoundCloud now, which we push them across both SoundClouds. So you get mega reach from just kind of that little bit of marketing.
Yeah, and you get Mixcloud as well. And obviously, if you one of my biggest tips to artists is start YouTube at the beginning, because you can make an income from YouTube alone in 10 years if you go now. Like, I know you've done it and I'm starting it kind of thing. Like YouTube as an income stream it's not great at the beginning, but as soon as you can get to a level of where you're playing your own music on your own radio shows on YouTube, and you've got your money and you sort your publishing out, you can make money by just streaming on YouTube.
Exactly. So you're it's just basically making a piece of content. So you're taking that, like you're saying, you could have the 7 till 9 slot every Friday on Twitch. That makes you a 2-hour piece of content, which is supposed to be visual and audio. You can then take the audio and put it on SoundCloud, Mixcloud. You can take the video and put it on YouTube. You're making so much content. Like this piece of content we're making right now is going to go on YouTube, and it'll go on my YouTube channel, so you can watch it again. It'll also get chopped into Instagram audience content, so it just gives you loads of content when you're doing these big long projects.
Yeah, I agree. Long form to short form.
So let's talk about other tips for small artists, because a lot of the people watching are small artists and they're kind of making music. Let's talk about wins. I love a good win. Where would you say wins are for artists right now across social media?
I think what Instagram are doing with Reels is really cool at the moment. I think the fact that you can make your own videos now with your soundtrack, like you can kind of make personal content with your soundtrack to it. I think that's a really big win at the moment. I think artists are neglecting the fact that they can put their own music on top of a video content, and it now shows people. Like, Andrew Leese, S track. Like videos that before used to literally go, oh my God, what's this track? Whereas now you can just make a reel and it's there. Track ID done. I think that's a big win. I think the amount of radio support that's happening right now, because clubs have been shows for so long, I think radio shows are more important than they've ever been. And I think, like what we were just talking about there, I think if you're a DJ, right, and you've got music that you're sitting on, how many channels radio shows are going on every single day? Never mind what happens a week. Send your music to every single radio DJ there is. Because, like, my housemate's just been supported by Moxie and NTS. Big deal. It's literally when it was being played and Mitch Wellings, his phone blew up. Oh my God, mate, your track's being played on NTS. Like, wins are there, and it can be in the middle of the afternoon. Everyone thinks, like, oh my God, I can only get my music played on Friday night on Radio 1 if you're in the UK. Like, mate, radio is like every minute of the day.
Yeah. So
there is no excuse not to send your music to every single radio DJ. Make a list of them in a spreadsheet and go, right, Moxie, 3 till 5, NTS. So you send the music to her on a Tuesday morning, because that's when she's checking promos.
That's a great tip.
What you can do on TikTok, there you go, right? Make a spreadsheet of every... Danny Howard, 6 till 8, Friday night, BBC Radio 1. Send your music to him on a Thursday. Set your calendar invite. Set yourself a calendar. Yeah, so like I'm really, as a social media manager, right, I live and breathe off alarms and notifications on my calendar. So every Thursday, if you set yourself an alarm in your Google Calendar to send Danny Howard your music, do it every single week until he replies to you. Like that little thing, and that's not even social media. That's just admin. That's just what you should be doing as an artist. I think what's happening on TikTok, if you can find your little thing, incredible. Like if you're a female singer right now, right, and you're watching this, TikTok is your platform. There is a bigger audience on a TikTok for females than there is on any other platform in the world right now. So if you're a singer and you want to try and get away from the male audiences, go to TikTok, do acoustic videos, do that kind of stuff. And then I've got a tip really is like, you need more than one video now. If any DJs listening to this or any artists listening to this, I'm going to tell you what you can learn from Justin Bieber. And you might be shocked by that. But he makes a lyric video for every single track he does. So if you've got a catchy house hook and you want, everybody's got a track that they listen to or they sing in their head when they go make a cup of tea in the morning, right? That can be your track by simply just making a lyric video. Because if you release that lyric video 2 weeks before you release your single, then you can get people knowing the words, and it only takes a 30-second hook clip. And then everybody's going, like, make that your track. So you need like a lyric video, you need an official video, you need a raw clip, you need to live stream it, you need to do something on Twitch. There's 5-6 ways you can do something with your single all at once. So I think lyric videos are really, really underrated.
We used them last year for the single we had. We did amazing stuff. I love lyric videos. If you are an artist and you're joining us in the chat this afternoon and you are struggling with your social media, drop us a little wave and say hello, because we're trying to help as many artists as we can this afternoon. We have got 3,200 people watching. Welcome to our 3,000 people. Love this. I love being on the front pages. I love being on the front pages. It's absolutely hilarious. So hang on. I'm a trance DJ and I want to reach other DJs where I can find their email. Should I contact them on social media?
Yeah, I think like magic happens in the DMs. Like, I mean, that's when me and you speak, innit? Yeah, DMs. I try and make a little thing of like DM 10 people new every day. And you don't even have to DM them with like that big long spiel and go, oh my God, mate. Like literally just tell people you like their music. Like start with literally just dropping someone a compliment, because if someone does that to you, that's like that dopamine hit. So like if that works on you, it's going to work on other people.
I drop people little voice notes as well. It's quite nice.
Yeah, you can do this kind of stuff, right? And it's completely free. If you're trying to do emails and you're trying to get emails, you need to give them a reason. Like I have a newsletter. Graham, I'm sure you have ways of getting people's email addresses. Give away free tracks, but make them sign up to something before they get it, or make a sample pack and do something with that, or offer a competition or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I love the DM thing. It's like just say hello. So many people going too heavy with the DM thing. It's like, hey, I want your email address, but just go in and say hello. Like at the end, like I always think, like, would you walk up to somebody in the street and just say, hey, can I have your email address? Or, hey, here's, and not even speak to them. Like, if you're thinking of like the demo thing and just giving them a link, would you walk up to them and just put a USB in their hand with your music on? Or would you kind of stroke that conversation a little bit and say hello and, generally just start at the start,
Yeah. I've got a little analogy of like, if you walk into a bar and shout, hi, I'm a DJ, I've got brand new music, everyone's going to look around at you and go, what the fuck's this guy doing? Whereas, like, if you go up to the bar, ask the bar guy, go, how are you, mate? What you do? Like, is this your full-time job or do you have another job? What's your biggest dreams? And then they ask you and you go, oh, I'm a DJ. That guy's going to go, oh, wow, mate, what kind of music do you play? Because you've started that engagement. And then you can go, oh, yeah, I make DJ. Here's my business card. Here's my email address or whatever like that. Check me out. So, like, building audiences is literally just doing that, but getting 1,000 people into the same place. And that's what happens when you go from 0 to 1,000 followers, right? You've now got 1,000 people in your space that are there for you. So, like, if you imagine that you then need to put the 200 people those into an event, you've now got to go, right, guys, you found 1,000 people. I only need 1/5 of you to turn up to my event and I can sell at an event. Yeah. So, like, if you've made that personal step and you've spoke to them at the bar and you've done that with 1,000 different people, that sellout's going to happen. Whereas if you continually shout, hi, you've got brand new music out in 1,000 different places, everyone's going to look around and go, what the fuck are you doing then? Like, and that's all Facebook ads are. But
Yes.
in reality, it's like if you're just hitting an audience that you think, oh my, they might be interested. That's like walking into Wembley Stadium during the Euros and go, "Hi, I play football." Great.
I want to tell you about Reels. Basically, we were talking about Reels the other day on my stream, and one of the guys came on the stream, and he basically made one straight after the stream. He put his face on there, which seems to work so well at the moment. Talking to camera and just sort of speaking to the reel, and doing it in the app just works so well. So he's got 328 followers, or he had 327 followers. He's now got 328, but he got 3,500 views. He basically
I'll give you some insights. I'll go into my client, Andy, and we're doing Reels. We're doing that at the moment where he literally just speaks into the camera and goes, "Hi guys, I've got a brand new," and I'll show you the differences between the viewership, and I'll give you his insights. So we've done 3 Reels.
Yep.
He's now got 9 posts as we removed everything. The Reel that we did last night got 119 likes, which is sound. But the plays was 28,953. The reach was 17,850, and I only got 119 likes. So that's only quite a lot of plays.
That's cool. Go and check him out.
I'll just show you the difference of what it's like doing IGTV video.
Yeah.
So this got 158 views, 33 likes. Reach was 346.
Wow.
That is the difference between the video that's longer, that's an hour, a minute and 10, compared to a 25-second video, 17,000 plays. It's ridiculous.
That's mental.
And then the normal video,
Reels.
this only got 254 views, and that's just literally an audio clip of his next single. So the difference, I've now learned with his audience that Reels work, and I need to adjust my audio clips of the tracks to make them into Reels.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've now learned, I've only been with this guy a month or so, so the difference of reach of 17,000 to 254, like everything now needs to pretty much be a Reel.
Is it good to promote your post on Facebook or Instagrams? I am DJ Quentin is saying in the chat. Is it good to promote some posts on Facebook and Instagram? Sorry.
Yeah, your audience is the key, massively. Your audience is the key. So there's everything about Facebook ads now is down to audience, and it's down to your content. Essentially, like, don't just boost anything for the sake of it because you're after engagement. Have a strategy and go, what do I want by the end of this month? Not just like, don't treat every single post by individual posts or else you'll never get anywhere. So if you go, right, I'm going to run this out for 2 weeks and hopefully it's going to take my following from 300 to 350. And if that's what you're trying to do, it doesn't matter how much it costs. You can learn and make it cheaper. But have an objective and a call to action of what you want this ad to do. Like every promoter promotes their event because they want to sell tickets. So if you're an artist and you're not trying to sell tickets, what is your objective of the ad? Because then you can understand the success of it. Whereas if I say to you, right, do a Facebook ad, it's going to cost you 16p per click, and you go, great. What was the objective of it? If it costs you 70p per click, but it gets you 50 more followers than what you've got, and that's what your objective to do, they can go, right, we can make that cheaper next time, but at least you know what the objective was. So always have an objective with your Facebook ads or Instagram ads. Otherwise, you'll never actually achieve anything.
That's really cool. What are your big tips for getting, so you were saying you're doing stuff to camera. What are your big tips for Instagram Reels?
See what trends are happening and see how you can recreate it in your own way. I don't know if there's obviously in the DJ world, the trends aren't as popular as what happens on the day-to-day TikTok, Instagram Reels, happen stuff. But pictures, do you know what's underrated as well? It's just videos of you DJing at home on having your phone like that kind of thing. I think so many DJs don't actually film themselves DJing. It's strange, right? So if you're trying to break through, showcase your DJ skills, transition. So take a stream, but cut it so that it's the bit where you mix in and out. Do whatever you're doing on the faders or effects. Showcase your DJ streams, DJ skills on Reels. And that will get you, because one, you're playing somebody else's track or you're playing your own track, so people are going to want that. And then showcase your skills, whether it's production skills, there's a girl I'm just going to quickly. There's a girl named Rachel Collier, I think. Do you know her?
No, but I know. I was going to say on the DJ skills one, there's a girl called Amy ELLE, and she went from like 10,000 to like 60,000, but just literally doing exactly what you said, like literally using reels and doing like choppy 3-track mixes or 3-deck mixes over like 30 seconds, just continuous, like showing the skills and showing and just mashing up stuff because that is her skill. And she blew her numbers up. And then when she came to releasing her track, it was just like it's had millions of streams because she's blown her numbers up across social media.
Yeah, so that's one of my other tips is like if you're really good in production and you're very good at like how you make this track, like I don't really make production or anything like that, so I'm not really interested in that kind of content, but your audience will be.
Yeah.
Especially if the majority of your audience are producers and they look up to you, or whether you're at a level like I've got a mate named Josh Avell, and one of the things we're trying to do with him is we're trying to push him so that he's not just a DJ who's looking up to DJs, that DJs are looking up to him. And we're doing that by literally sharing like production tips, or he's literally going into camera and goes, right guys, I've had a really shit day in the studio today. And he's doing that on his stories or whatever like that on his reels and goes, what are your tips for helping me get out of this, whatever's going on in your head? So ask questions on your reels. Literally go, right guys, I'm looking for some drums. What are your favorite plugins? What are your favorite this? So ask questions on your reels because it will get engagement, and the more engagement you do, it'll drive your views. So ask questions. I'm not really a big fan of the people that do like, do you know them TikToks and Instagram reels where people go and like here and here and here and here. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm more of a like, I like the fact that you can just click your fingers. So if you're in the world now of like, right, I'm in London, but I want to be in Ibiza, click your fingers and you can be there.
Yeah.
Like, I like that kind of content, that kind of like, it used to be that like you make a video content, go, hi guys, I'm going to show you what's in my suitcase and I'm going to take you to the airport and then here's us landing, that kind of content. Whereas now you can go, right guys, I really wish I was in Ibiza. And you can be there. That kind of content's cool. Like just make a transition of like, you know, there's hot girls that do it where they literally just kind of like flip their hair forwards and then they're all dolled up. DJs can do that as I'm like, God, I wish I was in a nightclub.
I quite like the ones where you kind of point, because I've been saying it to a few people where they'll like where they're saying like, these are 5 records you should definitely go. Like one of the people that's been on my course, she does it where she literally goes, these are 5 vinyls I bought this week and you should know about them. Like, and it's literally like she's gone so niche with it. Like she's getting people going, fuck, I want that piece of vinyl, or fuck, I should go and check that out. Or she does it where she's like, these are 3 labels I like this week.
That's a cool idea. Yeah.
They've released amazing music. And it's more about like proper going into the niche and going, I'm a vinyl DJ and I'm only playing vinyls, and I've found some really cool ones on these really cool labels.
Yeah, that's cool. I do that. Like what Archie Hamilton's doing is like Dig of the Week. And literally he goes, right guys, this is where he talks into the camera and goes, right, I got this vinyl from Phonica Records. I really love the drums. Listen to it. And then it plays. I like that. The transition of that kind of stuff. So there's a really good thing, like record yourself on Discogs, buying the record. The next transition is the postman knocking on your door and you take away the vinyl. And then the next transition is you playing it on your turntable. So if you think about that and you go, that might take you a week to make because it might take a week for it to get posted. But if you think of it like that and go, right, I'm going to order some track off Discogs and then it arrives and here's what I've just bought. That's a cool transition. Just make a transition. Cool. That's the biggest tip. Basically.
Do you put a call to action in? Because obviously at the end of the day, you want more followers out of these. How do you convert? Like you're saying, like we're knowing these views are big, you know? Like we're saying, this guy yesterday, he had 328 followers and he's got 3,500 views, which is incredible from an engagement, like a views point of view for such a small account, such a small creator. Like you'd normally think if you put that on any other platform, he'd probably get like 2 views or 3 views, you know? How would you convert that to a follower?
I think if you ultimately do it consistently, you can then go, right, guys, I'm the guy. Say you get one piece of track, like one video that goes viral. Mm-hmm. You can then remind people of why it went viral. Hey, guys, I'm the guy from this video. Come and follow me. here because I've got brand new music out here. You can do that. You have to be consistent. No one's going to follow you just because they saw one reel. There needs to be like a real reason. So like if you've got music coming out, or you're doing a sellout event, or you've got a new mix series or something like that, you've got to give them the reason. To like as you said, the guy's got a small audience. He's got to make a reason. So like, does he have a new EP coming out, or is he playing an event in the city that is near you, or something? There has to be a real reason to follow. People do these videos where it's like, "Hi guys, this is the new single. It's coming out on this label. Follow me for part 2, and I'm going to show you how I made it." Then there's a reason to follow, because then you need to wait for oh my God, I want to know how I made them synths or drums, kind of thing. So think of it like that. Then part 2, and then the call to action on part 2 is to go and buy the single.
That's really cool. So his one last night was, I've made a track, it doesn't have a name, what should I name it? So that actually works really well for him, because he can then go, follow me for part 2. If you'd have gone follow me for part 2, which is then going to be making it, and then follow me for part 3, and it's then I've signed it, and it's like they're following the journey of that record, which is pretty cool and pretty fun.
Yeah, and then you can do the thing where the vinyl arrives. Oh my God, guys, part 10 is this is the track I made, and now it's out on vinyl, and now I'm holding it. So if you think of how to transition your audience all the way through, you can take them on that. I hate the word journey, but you can take them on that journey from making it to releasing it.
Let's talk about your newsletter. How did that start, and what platform do you use for your newsletter, by the way?
I just use ActiveCampaign to send it out. I do 2 ways. I do one on my website. If you want to share your screen, we can go through it all if you want.
I can actually see my screen. Just give me 2 seconds.
It's available on my website on Social Sound, and it's also available to subscribers. So it started because like we use the same word for our thing. Like I've always liked the word blueprint. I feel like there's and like design your own blueprint is essentially like what I've been pushing to artists for years. So I kind of like, it came from 21 Pilots, the band, and what they did on their YouTube channel. And I was like, oh my God, like when I started looking for things, when you go on that big rabbit hole of research, it all started from literally just being like, right, I'm marketing an album. I did Ronnie Spateri's album a few months ago. And I was like, right, how have other artists shared their album? So I started by looking at what Bicep did, and then 21 Pilots, and then London Grammar. And I started to look at what the biggest artists of the world were doing. It's like, also there's a platform called Marketing Examples, which I think I've sent you before. Mm-hmm. He does newsletters on like how Molly May from Love Highland got to 1 million subscribers, and then give away a competition, but she got 79 million, like 7.8 million subscribers or something like that on her YouTube channel. And she celebrated it. And it's like, so what she did is like, I can take little bits from that and implement that myself. So I was like, right, I'm just going to write a newsletter, because I do this all the time. All the campaigns and stuff that I make, I could make them in and go, right, this is how this happened, and this is why this happened. And it's just a really good lead generation tactic for my product. So,
I can share my screen. So let's go. Let's look at your work. Let's look at. If
you click on subscribe at the top.
Subscribe. There we go.
So basically, this is where anyone watching, if you want to come and subscribe my newsletter, this goes out every single Tuesday about 10 to 12 o'clock in the mornings, depending on how quickly I've got it finished.
Why did you pick Tuesdays?
Because I tend to work more Sundays than I do Mondays. Yeah. Like I'm a big person of like, you don't have to work every single hour of the day when you work by yourself. And no one does anything in the electronic music marketing industry anywhere on Monday morning. So Monday morning is when I know that I can write my newsletter without anybody wanting stuff from me at like 5 p.m. or emails don't really happen on Monday morning. So I block that out and I write newsletters on Monday morning, because that was when I manage my time properly. So I plan it all out on a Sunday, I write it on a Monday, and then that gives me Monday evening to just kind of get the design stuff. And also like whenever I used to do promoting tickets, I always used to say people, announce it on Tuesdays, because then that gives you Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to market it. Mm-hmm. Don't do stuff on Thursdays and Fridays, because then you go into the weekend and then a lot of people switch off. So Tuesdays to me has always felt like the best day on social media. So I don't want to put something in somebody else's inbox on a Monday afternoon or a Monday morning when they've got enough stuff to do. Yeah. So Tuesdays felt like a really good day And it also gives me Sunday to plan it, Monday to write it, Monday evening to edit it, Tuesday to send it. And that gives me the rest of the week then. So yeah, it goes out every Tuesday. And basically what I do, so if you pick one.
I want to choose what I'm going to choose. There's some great subjects here, like market your radio show like Charlie T, Warehouse Project launch.
If you click Hub as well, so the Hub actually has more of them. So subscribe just like where people. So the Hub has all of them.
You've got share personal story like Stall It. Wow, create engaging content Fabe. Wow, market your like Growing and Grower. Man, there's so many good ones in here. Market like Moxie.
So essentially, I have 3 pillars. There's personal, music, and events. Those are the things other than music, those are the only things in life I really give a shit about. And every DJ that I speak to only really give a shit about those 3 things as well. So personal gets broken up into 2 different sections. There's the personal life of like solely shares personal content about like, he uses it Instagram as like a personal diary. So he uses it going, a year ago I did this. And because of that, a year ago later, I'm now here. And I really like that. So the music gets broken up into 2 sections. There's engagement and revenue. So there's what you do for engagement, which is create a radio show. But the reason why he has that radio show is to help people make revenue. It's because it's this awareness thing. So with this one, Danny breaks his radio station up into sections. So as we were talking about radio earlier, Danny has like, do you know how Pete Tong has the Essential Mix? Mm-hmm. Sorry, the Essential New Tune, and that's something that makes people listen. It keeps you in for an hour before he announces it. So Danny has like Friday Fire. And he also has like an Ibiza moment. So he asks a DJ to come onto his radio show and go, what's your Ibiza track for a moment or a sunset? So the sections of your radio show. And that will go, right, there's a reason to listen to this because, I want to know what the Essential New Tune is, but you've got to wait an hour and 40 minutes into his show because that's what's going to keep him live. So this newsletter breaks down what he did on one radio show. And it's 2 hours, so he has radio features. So he has Weekend Weapons, he has the Ibiza Sunset Moment and Friday Fire. And those are like his spikes. That's what he wants people to stay listening to. Because as soon as Friday Fire is done, he then starts talking about Weekend Weapons.
Yeah.
And as soon as Weekend Weapons, it's going, right, and I'm going to go into the club mix, and here's 20 tunes that I like. So there's like sections of his radio show. And what I think a lot of people do radio when they do it is they just plan it out and go, right, I'm going to play these tracks. But why don't you make one of them tracks track of the week? Because you can build up to track of the week. So you can play 4 tracks that you like, but then the next one that you play is the track of the week. And then you can market that, and then other people can listen to that and go, oh my God, Graham Farmer's track's just been made track of the week. And then people post about that on social. So then they're talking about your radio show. So that's what this newsletter breaks down and why you should do it.
That's cool. That's really cool. I had a Mr. Jam track of the week last year, part of the show for 8 weeks, and then the final week we had Future Anthem, and we were like fucking sharing the shit out of it because we had a different artwork. It was amazing.
Exactly. So like Annie Mac's got the hottest record in the world, so she makes a Radio 1 team make an asset for that, and that gets sent out to that artist, and then they share it, and then they'll share a bit, talk about Annie Mac, and go, hi guys, we're going to be talking to Annie Mac later because our track's been named hottest record of the world. So if you can build something like that, if you start and you do this consistently, in 2 years, 3 years time, people might be really excited of why your track is, because they trust you as a selector.
Yeah.
So all this newsletter does is just shows you different ways to share your content. So if you're a radio presenter and you have a radio show every week, that means you can have a track of the week every week. And that's a reason for them to talk about you on their social media.
It's a good feature. Having those features inside radio shows just brings more people to your show as well. Like it opens yourself up to their audiences as they're talking about you.
Yeah. So I break it down like market your music like London Grammar. That one breaks down of how they did hottest record of the world of Annie Mac, and as soon as the track finished on Radio 1, it was available to stream. As soon as it finished on Radio 1, which has obviously got 10 million listeners, it was then available on Spotify. So then people could go to Spotify and listen to it again. So like that was planned, strategized to make people go, listen to Radio 1. This is going to be the first time it's ever been played out, but now it's available to stream. And then they told 10 million people that this is now available to stream.
Yeah.
So the planning of that with Spotify and with the management and with the artist and with the label, that's a lot. But it works. because you're putting it into a place where London Grammar's prime audience is Radio 1 listeners.
Exactly. Or I guess they would do that across the US audience as well, from a serious point of view, because obviously that's a big platform as well. So
absolutely. So like 8 p.m. at night is probably like midday LA. So it's also not going out at, like, if they did it at 10 a.m. in the UK, it would mean that half of America's asleep. So if you know that you've got a worldwide global audience, you know that you need to do America first, but also what works in the UK kind of thing. And that's what this newsletter does. It breaks down what they did and what social posts they shared and how they shared the single. And Nothing Else Matters there was one of the song lyrics of Baby It's You. So they captioned Nothing Else Matters a day before the single. And then the lyric was Nothing Else Matters kind of thing. So there's a thought process of that. So in this newsletter, there's tweets that they did, there's Instagram posts that they did, there's YouTube videos they did. And essentially what I'm trying to teach people to do is, look, the blueprint to success is there. It's been done. There's nothing new about this. You've just got to find different ways to do this. Like, they're not recreating the wheel here with marketing. They're using radio for Annie Mac. They're using YouTube with this platform. They did Live Lounge. This newsletter essentially is showing you lots of different ways, and I try and do something different every week because there's some, like the Market Your Radio show, like Moxie, she does an NTS show, and in that newsletter, this is one of my earlier ones, so it wasn't as good as what they are now, but it's just showing you that if you scroll down and then get to the bit where her Instagram account is, here, look, so that's her Instagram grid, and all those are carousels, and if you scroll down underneath it,
for those that don't know, carousel, multiple images like this.
I think there's an image where there's two images. So if you just this one here, this one here, there's little arrows just to the left hand side of the photo. Look.
Ah, sweet.
So that's what she does on socials. She posts a picture of her, but she hides the track list, and then on the track list on the image, she tags all the artists on that page.
Sick.
So that's how she markets her radio show. It's a picture of her at home. And then you swipe, and then there's a track list. And then in the caption of the summary, there's all the tags of the artists. This is who I supported this week. And then all the artists comment on it and, oh my God, thank you for supporting my music. And that's what she does every Wednesday.
Is there a reason she puts a photo first?
Yeah, it's just because people are invested in the people. Like, people are invested in Moxie. And if you look at the difference, she's a female artist who's got a really cool style about her. But then no one really cares about the track listing. They only care about it so they can go and look at it. They don't engage with this picture because of the track listing. They engage because they're invested in Moxie.
Right. It's not an algorithm thing as well, though.
Yeah, and also it's pink. It's got a lot of text on it. Algorithms don't like stuff covered in text, so if you can hide it. And then, as I said, with the Instagram feed, you don't have loads of different colours. So here, look. So she's got a pink jumper on there, and every picture behind there, like that track listing, is the same colour as her jumper. As a designer, you can take the colour of what she's wearing on the jumper, drop it, and make that colour background the same colour as her jumper. And then it's all on colour sync, right? Whereas she might wear black next week, so she's not going to have black next to pink and then green. So she's thinking about it. Yeah. Carousel is my version of how I share on social media. I'm not the biggest Reels person or anything like that. I'm a big carousel person. I like to tell stories. Like it to be I want people to go 1 to 10, like here's an example of why this newsletter's cool and what Moxie does, and it shows you. I could do it as a reel, but I'd have to make it. So this is just my version of how I share stuff on social.
Let me talk about Facebook, because I honestly struggle with Facebook. I find that I have to spend a load of money to get anything out of it. Are you finding the same?
Yes. What gets 1,000 views or 1,000 likes on Instagram will probably get 50 to 100 on Facebook. I think Facebook really struggled because we lost that raw clip, that El Roco Petty video that would get engagement. DJs have lost that. And I generally think it's just how the market of what people are using on social media is changing. If I didn't have Messenger on Facebook, I don't think I'd have a personal Facebook anymore, because it's just like you spend too much time on there seeing stuff that you don't really mean, because you can't create your feed as much.
Yeah.
Whereas on Instagram, I can choose who I follow and what I like, and I can search. Whereas Facebook not really built for that. It was built for people. And then they added pages on top of it. So, yeah, I really struggle with Facebook, and I don't think there's anyone that doesn't. If you're posting a lot a day, like, like High Sobriety or the daily news channels and news, I think for artists, when you post irregularly, you don't post 4 times a day, like what Daily Mail would. I think that's why a lot of people struggle, is because Facebook, even though, if people on Instagram only post once to twice a day max, on Facebook, if you want traffic to your site, you have to post a lot. Otherwise, you're relying on 1 post a day. And I think that takes up people's feeds a lot. And I think that's underrated.
Does the whole link in the comment work better than actually just posting a link out? Do you know?
I think it depends what you're trying to do. Like, if you were to say, "Hi, I'm live on Twitch. Here's my video link." I think you could just share that as a link and people would click on it. Whereas if you were to put a video in and go, "Hi guys, I'm going to be live on Twitch in 10 minutes. Here's the link. Links in the comments. Come check it." You probably get like a 1/10 of that, but you get more views.
Right.
So depends what your interest, what you're trying to get. When I worked for Ibiza Spotlight, it was always 4 to 5 posts a day.
Yeah.
2 links, but they would be shared as links with the caption, and that's what gets the link clicks. If you're after link clicks, then just share links. If you're after video views, share videos, and it's essentially what you're after.
Do they work? Because obviously I do that. I share links, obviously from a data transmission point of view, and I want to send people to obviously back to the site. But then I worry because the likes and the comments are just not there. But the link clicks are. And then you get judged on the likes and the comments by the people that are kind of looking at it and going, "Didn't get many likes, didn't get many comments," and also by the audience, 80,000 followers, and you're not getting any likes and comments, and it's just like, yeah, but I got a load of link clicks, which sent a load of people back. It's like,
just gotta use your different platforms to get different things. If you're posting Instagram link, if you're trying to get drives and call to actions from Instagram, link clicks, it's not going to happen. You're going to get likes and comments. Whereas on Facebook, if you want link clicks and you get link clicks, then objectively you're doing what you want. So that's your strategy. If you're using Facebook as a call to action to get people to your website, then that's what you judge it on. And the likes and comments, because I've not really read an article and gone, "Oh my God, I need to go back to data transmission to comment on how much I enjoyed it." That's not really what people do anymore. Whereas if you give them music, they can instantly respond to it and go, "Oh my God, that beat's sick." Because you can reply to it straight away. Whereas if you have to go, and then if you do that with music, I will comment on SoundCloud because that's where you've taken me to, and that's where, "Oh my God, guys, this beat's sick."
Yeah.
So it's all different. Essentially, you've got to look at this as a 360 business, and you've got to go, right, Facebook is my main lead generation of traffic to my website. And if that's top alongside your organic search, then it's doing its job. If it's not, then you need to look at doing something different. Twitter might be the same. It's a link click place, really. But you can create conversation quicker because you can get threads and you can get people commenting on it and stuff like that.
I want to talk about Twitter because we haven't talked about that yet. And I know you're the man when it comes to Twitter. Welcome to all those that are joining us this afternoon. This is another 2,000 people watching us. What does Andrew think of Discord? Is it one of the questions?
I'm new to Discord, I have to admit, but I saw this really good tweet the other day and saying the future of D2C, which is direct to consumer, is direct to community. You get people into communities and then you can monetize audiences that way, which is exactly what you're doing, which is exactly what I'm doing. And I really like Discord and saying, obviously it works really well to go, "Hi, I'm going to go live in 10 minutes," and you've got 10,000 people in your Discord, and then you've got 1,000 viewers straight away. In terms of an artist, if you're using it and it's under your name, you've really got to commit to it.
Yeah.
You've really, really got to commit to it and go, there's a place that people can come and engage with you, because so many artists want the platform and they want the audience in it, but they don't want to manage it. You are the reason they are in there. Like Disclosure are doing really cool stuff with Discord where they do live A&Rs and stuff like that, and they do live streams into their Discord. And they do NFTs and stuff in there, but they're replying to people. They love it. Bicep are the same with Bandcamp. They really love their Bandcamp community. They engage with everybody on there. They don't really do it on Instagram because there's too many people. So yeah, Discord's cool, but if you're an artist and you want people to like, if you're the king of that channel, you've really got to commit to it.
Yeah.
And you've got to really put a strategy of why you're making your Discord. What are you doing in there that's different to anybody else? And like, are you giving free music away? Or are you giving free tips away? Are you doing remixes to people in your community? So yeah, I like it, but you've really got to commit to it.
I think it's one of those things where it's like if it's under your name, it's got to be the 80% of your focus of time. Like you can't, like all the other platforms, you just got to kind of use a little bit, but you've just got to be in there and you've got to be in other people's and you've got to kind of talk about it. And yeah, I think as with every, like you've only got a finite amount of time, I suppose. And the big chunk is making the music, and then the next thing is your main social media. So just pick one and do it well. I think from all things, you know.
Yeah, like with Discord, if you're gonna do it, stream into it. Stream. All right, guys, we're gonna make a new track today. Come and check in, check out, check in me. But I'm gonna be here all day. And then take 10 minutes out of your Discord chat to go, right, guys, have you got any questions about what I've just done? That's that cool. Kind of stuff. I think that's a cool way to do it. And as well, like the 1,000 true fans model.
Yeah,
like you only need 1,000 true fans to make a living. Discord's your perfect opportunity to build them in and keep them in.
Yeah,
people are going to follow you on Instagram so quickly just because of your political views, whether you're an Arsenal fan, anything. Like Discord, I think people get to know the person a bit easier, and they get to know the person, and I think that's what's cool about Discord.
Someone's saying MJ Cole. Oh, DJ F Swift says MJ Cole does the same as Disclosure, and he's on Twitch tonight, 7 p.m. on MJ Cole. Wow, cool, nice.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. Like, if you're a big MJ Cole fan and you've got his albums and you've got his merch, what a cool thing to be able to engage with him properly. Because they don't reply to you on Instagram. They don't really reply to it. They've not done shows for so long. Like, yeah, it's cool.
Let's talk about Twitter. You wrote a blog post about Twitter.
Yeah, I published that on my personal website because before Socially Sound was a thing, I went through this big discovery of how Twitter was the devil. And I basically went from this was at the beginning of COVID, and everyone's world just got completely flipped. And I was like, oh my God, like this place is toxic. And I was going on there angrier than when I was leaving Twitter, angrier than when I went on, because I was reading all these people's opinions and all sorts of stuff. So I just unfollowed everybody. And I now only actually follow 245 people on Twitter, and I don't use it as much as I was when I last spoke to you because other things have taken priority. But that is essentially why I got into newsletters. I follow this big community on Twitter called Marketing Twitter, and basically everyone's got their newsletter, and then they use it to sell courses and they use it to sell products. So like essentially that's why I have a newsletter, because it helps me sell products. But yeah, Twitter is a very weird platform, especially if you're starting from ground zero, because it's very hard to grow. I think there's markets for Twitter. Like if you're a DJ but you love Bitcoin, go follow everybody that is into Bitcoin and go follow them on Twitter, because you will learn so much about Bitcoin and you'll know when the dips are there. So like, you don't always have to use Twitter to grow an audience. You can use Twitter to learn.
Yeah.
Like I follow business owners, I follow CEOs, I follow head of marketing, I follow influencers, like people, influencer managers, not like the actual influencers, but like people who do campaigns of influencers and they share everything. So I really like that about Twitter, because it's like one-to-one access with people that you just never be able to speak to ever. Like if I want to speak to Stephen Bartlett, who's like one of the people that I look up to a lot, he's built a £1 million business, he's got podcasts and stuff. Like if I want to tweet him, I can, and he'll probably reply. Whereas like if I want to tweet Scream, go, hey mate, how you doing? Why is he going to reply to me?
Yeah.
You know? So I use Twitter, and I'm not doing it to build an audience, and I'm not using it to like. I think you follow Visualize Value, right? Which is what I think I said to you before.
Yes.
And that platform on Twitter just changed my whole perspective of everything, and that helped me. So if you're a DJ and you want to learn about business because you've got a record label, or you want to learn about promotion, or you want to learn about email marketing, you can follow some incredible people on Twitter, and you can take what you learn on Twitter and apply it to your everyday life. And I think that's more important than followers.
Before we finish on Twitter, one of the things you said in the podcast we did actually was you don't need to follow everyone on all platforms, which I thought which was actually
On every
eye opening.
platform.
Yeah, eye opening, because I literally again went and unfollowed loads of people that I follow on Twitter because I'm already following them on Facebook and Instagram, and literally use my, like you said, like you were saying in that thing, just use your Twitter for something other, you know.
Else, yeah. I use Sky News. Sky News is a really good example. Why do you need to follow Sky News on social media? And all you've got to do is go on skynews.com and everything's instant. It's there. Here's the breaking news. There's an earthquake here. You can read about it online, right? You don't need that on your social media following. You can put the TV on and put BBC News on. It's 24/7 now. So you don't need to follow these things online because you instantly bring negativity into your lives. Like if you follow Sky News and instantly you see there's an earthquake in Japan, it's like, oh, how sad. Whereas if you just want to read the news, then just read the news. You don't need to follow it on social media. And it's the same with DJs. Like you don't need to follow Adam Bayer and Drunkcode on every single platform. You can go to, if you like Adam Bayer and Beatport, just go to Beatport and check out their new music, or go to Spotify and check out their new music. You don't need to be invested in their lives all the time, because that takes away
join their mailing
yours.
list.
Yeah. So like what I would say, and obviously I'm here and I have a business called Socially Sound, and I only use Instagram for Socially Sound because I want to subscribe to my newsletter. That is why I'm using Instagram. And I don't want you to follow me on every platform, because if you only see it on one platform, follow me on the platform that you're going to see it, or where you can search for me or come and find me. I'm not like, hi, I've got a brand new business and I want you to follow me on every single channel.
Yeah, you see so many people do
why?
that.
For DJs, like concentrate on the channel that you can grow quickest. I know for a fact that I've got a big network on Instagram. I might only have 600 followers, but I can find thousands of DJs if I want to. And I could just search for Shot DeWitt or Adam Bayer, and I don't have to follow them. If I want to listen to their music, I can go to Spotify.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of like, if you continually like, and I say this about social media, if you continuously like and comment and see what everybody else is doing, then you're taking away from your own life, and you're taking away time from your production or what you could be doing on Discord with your actual audience. So yeah, I'm quite big on that, and I'm sure a lot of social media managers actually disagree with me and saying, "Oh my God, no, we need audiences on every different platform." It's like, no, you don't.
Well, you do need an audience on every platform, but it's nice to have a different audience on every platform. That'd be amazing. Like if you had 10 million followers on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, but they're all different people, that means you've actually got 30 million audience instead of just 10 million audience the same.
I think people get a bit too complicated of how you actually build audiences. London Grammar build audiences by going on Radio 1 and performing the music on Live Lounge, by touring around the world. That's how they build audiences. They don't make a Twitter strategy and go, oh my God, we're going to make a big strategy for Twitter to make people follow us there. You sell out venues and then they go, oh my God, I'm going to follow them on Twitter. That's how the big audiences, that's how people get build audiences. So concentrate on what the actual product is or that kind of stuff first. And then let's follow you anyway.
And then obviously from a smaller point of view, let's talk this brings us down to the smallest. If you are a brand new artist and you want to build your following, where would you start?
I'd start on the biggest platform you can build it on. So like start on YouTube. Because if you can crack YouTube, people will follow you on Instagram anyway.
That's interesting.
Because there's a reason why, like I'm sure you're following now, you've got to 11K, but I'm sure a lot of your following has come from the fact that you have a YouTube channel with a lot of numbers, or you have a podcast on Spotify. That's where people find you. So concentrate on where people are going to find you, and then concentrate on Instagram. Because if you literally sit there and go, oh my God, now I've gone from 224 followers to 228, think about why. Those 4 followers have followed you because they found your music on SoundCloud, or they found it on YouTube. So I concentrate on where you're putting your content. And like, if you want to grow on YouTube, concentrate on YouTube and use Instagram to grow your YouTube.
Yeah, because the YouTube audience is utterly ridiculous. It's like 1.9 billion users or something ridiculous like that.
And as well on YouTube, it flips the algorithm. Everybody's concentrating on getting to 100,000 followers on Instagram, but only actually get 1,000 likes on posts, right? You can have 1,000 followers on Instagram and have 200,000 streams on YouTube. It completely flips. So like, if you're starting from zero, you can start from zero and have Instagram, but you're going to use your Instagram to grow your YouTube. And you're going to use Instagram to post short video clips to get longer clips on video on YouTube. So like I'm writing a newsletter and building a platform for members, but I use Instagram to bring people into my members. I've got 1,600 followers, but I've made almost 5 figures in membership products this year.
Nice.
So, like I use Instagram to bring people here. So start thinking about why you're using Instagram and where you're trying to take people. Because you're using Instagram to get people to come and listen to you on Twitch now, right?
Yeah.
Because that's
Hey,
what
everyone that's
your
joining from
main
Instagram.
income. Exactly. And you've used YouTube to get people to come and follow you, data transmission, or to read their website, or to follow you on Instagram so that you can then take them to Twitch. So there's a big flywheel, right? So don't just concentrate on if you're not a video savvy, then create a radio show and get SoundCloud. But use Instagram to grow your SoundCloud.
Are you putting DJ mixes on and video mixes on YouTube for an artist?
Why not? Yeah. If you think of it now, Hot Since 82 could go on tour in Australia, which is 9 hours ahead of us, or whatever it is, maybe 11. And I can sit in the UK while he's DJing in Sydney, and I can still be watching him on YouTube. So he's cloned himself, if you think of it like that. He can be in 2 places at the same time because the internet exists.
Yeah.
And that's the same if you flip it in South America, which is behind us, or America, which is behind us. You can Hot Since 82 can be in Australia, but people in Miami can still be listening to his music. If you think of it like that, that's amazing.
Because the on demand is where the views are.
Exactly. And then there's now boiler rooms videos or mixmag videos or anything like that. They've got more views than EastEnders gets.
Amazing.
If you take a CSI Miami and you think that there's a brand new series and it's on every day or every week, it's probably getting 3 to 5,000, 3 to 500,000 views a day. If you think that Glass Animals, for example, they've got 200,000 people watching their live stream. So that's getting more viewers than national television. If you think about it like that, what Tomorrowland are doing, they sold 200,000 tickets to their online stream event. So they're getting more people watching that live stream event than they are what they get in a small tent at their festival. It's mad.
DJF Swift said he knows this channel because he found me on YouTube. Ah, welcome to our Twitch. Thanks for watching on YouTube. So you start working on this album. What else are you working on right now?
So Kevin Knapp is one of my clients. So he's got an EP coming out on this Repopulate Mars, which is Lefoss's label. That's coming out on August the 6th.
Yep.
Ronnie Spiteri, who I'm working with, has got 2 EPs coming out on his own label, which he's not done for a really long time. So that means I have to manage the artist channel and the Instagram, the label channel, and I have to think of different content for each, which is quite challenging because you create best piece of content and then you have to think about what platform it's going to go on best and what times.
Yeah. Do you start and kind of work out a plan, or is it kind of like what? How does that work?
So I've got a blueprint essentially. It starts with announcing the single or EP.
Yep.
And you do that by either getting the artist to do what you do on Reels, where it's face the video, go, hi guys, I've got a brand new EP, it's going to drop in 2 weeks, pre-sales out now, head to the link in my bio, tomorrow I'm going to share some clips, kind of thing. So that starts the pre-sale. And then I always try and get the story behind the track. So Kev's artwork for the next one he's just done is a meme of a Drake meme, and he's done the reenaction of the video. So we got him to do a photo shoot for the artwork. So we've talked about tomorrow or tonight we're sharing the outtakes of the images. So last night we did the official pictures that got chosen, and then the inspiration behind the meme, and then tonight we're doing all the outtakes. So here's all the pictures that didn't make the grade. Here's the funny ones. Here's the embarrassing ones. So that's kind of there's a story behind the artwork. So we'll introduce the artwork, we'll tell you the story behind it. Then it gets people invested a little bit, but we're not giving them the music straight away. We might give them the music and the A side and go, right guys, this is the A side. This is the track that we want you to play in clubs, or we want you to play at 5 o'clock in the morning at your after party. And I give them there's a story behind every track, whether the DJs know it or not. If it's just as simple, this is a banger that I'm going to play at my sets at 3 a.m., tell people that this is a banger and I'm going to play this in my sets at 3 a.m. because most people will try and do the same. DJs will buy it and they'll play it at 3 a.m. because it's a banger. Some tracks are just that simple. Like, I made the A side, I wanted something I'm going to play in my sets, so this is why I made it, and it's just been released on this label because I thought it'd be perfect for this label. The B side might be a little bit more after party vibe, so it might be a sunset track, or it might be just something that they can open with. So give the reason of why this track is the B side, and that's how I kind of blueprint it. And if obviously if there's a remix, why did you choose this remixer, or why did the label? Because you might make this track and go, Christ, Mattis Tansen will be so good playing this. I'm going to ask him to remix it, or I'm going to send it to him. Or it might literally just be, I made this track, I thought it was perfect for this DJ. He asked if I could remix it. I said yes. That's how this remix happened. So there's always a story. And that's essentially like, I'm going to use Adele Hello as a really good example.
Yeah.
People aren't interested in the song. They're interested in the girl that came out the other side. Because everybody can resonate that too, because we've all been through heartbreak and we've all come out the other side of something. So like, if you can find that little connection with the audience, there's something like that, right? So I'm big on that. And then essentially it's like, right, is there a premiere from a YouTube channel or SoundCloud that gets built in? That goes out the day before the release. And then on the release day, I always get my artists to record a video of how they feel on that morning. Because I can't tell people 2 weeks before to go, right, guys, send me a video so I can schedule this about how you feel that your new EP's out. Because you can't do that until your new EP's out.
Yeah.
Because that EP might be the first ever one on your label, or it might be the first EP you've ever released. You can't know how that feels until the day. So I have a rule with my clients that they have to do the same time every week as a meeting. And if they don't, I get a tip jar. And they have to buy me dinner. So like,
nice.
if you miss the meeting, especially during COVID when everyone's been at home, if you have a really good reason for why you can't do that meeting, like if your manager needs something or an agency, you've got a deadline, I'll let you off and we'll reschedule it. But if you cancel it on the day or the day before, I have a tip jar, $10 in there, please, buy me dinner because you missed the meeting. So I can now put, that's my time that you're wasting. And I have a really clear rule with them. It means to never miss a meeting. Because they pay me enough as it is. They don't want to start paying me something else.
Amazing.
So yeah, I have a rule with like that. And I think one of my biggest rules when working with clients is I'm investing my life in your career. This is your career, not mine. If you don't want to do the work, I'm not your guy. Like, because as we've always really talked about today is creating content, right? I'm not one of them guys that lets DJs off with an easy ride. Like, if you want me as your social media manager, or if you want my help, do what I say. Because if I'm not sitting in a studio with you and going, put some more hi-hats there, we'll do that. But you find that's disrespectful, right? So don't pay me money for social media advice and then don't, like, do it. So I have a bit of that's how I kind of like, I have a blueprint essentially for every release that I do. It's a bit different for an album because you don't know what track's going to hit. So a lot of the album, when I did the Ronnie Spiteri album, we had 13 tracks and we didn't know which ones was going to get charted or playlisted or played on radio, because it could be that Sam Divine likes one and Danny Howard likes another, and then you have which track do you market first? Because so you kind of have to play that by ear and go, right, this track's going big right now, let's get this bigger, and that sometimes does mean that other tracks get left behind, but that's essentially an album. Some people can find it 2 years later. Someone can find an album 2 years later and they might like the track that they never listened to before because they was really into the one, you know?
Some questions in the audience. Okay.
Does anyone find it annoying when DJs and producers use broadcast platform and then never follow other people's in the industry, like a producer? Do you?
If people don't follow me, but I think the people that follow me are people that are interested in me, and they've come for the same reason that the other people are there, because I'm giving them something that I don't really care who's following who. I haven't really even got time to think about who's following who. Like that little headspace time, I could be doing something else.
Yeah, like Taylor Swift doesn't follow anybody on Instagram, so like I respect that because it means that she's not scrolling through and investing in other people's lives. Like, she's not using Instagram the way we always use Instagram, right? We use it to find out what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Like, if you take, how much time would you spend on Instagram if you actually didn't follow anybody?
I don't know.
Probably way less, right?
What the next question? Where do you see Mixcloud going after all the updates? We haven't spoken about Mixcloud.
That's a U platform, man. I don't use Mixcloud at all.
I like
What
Mixcloud.
are the
I like
updates?
Mixcloud Live. I think between obviously Twitch and Mixcloud are definitely the best streaming platforms. YouTube's cool, but you still get takedowns. Mixcloud, you don't get takedowns, which is what you want basically. You don't want to be taken down while you midstream. And the same with Twitch. You don't get taken down. You just get muted afterwards, or you just take your video on demand off. I like where they're going. I like their sport artists. I think they're way behind. Obviously, Twitch. All the things you can do with Twitch as subs, and you can give subs, and you can, which is making you money as an artist. Like the subscribe thing on there is pretty basic. So they're way behind. They're obviously a platform that's built for radio shows and podcasts and mixes, and they've added live. I think Twitch is obviously a platform that's built just for live streaming, which is essentially what we want to do. The legal thing on Mixcloud is a big thing, but if you've only got 2 followers and you're streaming to you and your mum, what's the difference? There's a bigger audience on Twitch or YouTube.
I have to admit as well, I don't really use Mixcloud as this follower. Like, I'm a fan of music, right? I listen to mixes every day. I never go to Mixcloud. And I think that's probably their biggest problem.
Yeah, I think you have to send a lot of traffic to it. I think like SoundCloud, you've got built-in stuff that helps you find people. Once you're in there. Obviously, SoundCloud, that app is awful. So it's all a desktop thing. But when you're in SoundCloud, the discoverability of tracks and music is a lot better. Discoverability of music and tracks in Spotify is massive. So you're not having to send traffic there. You can just find it within the platform. Here's another question. What are the steps you would take to promote a self-release?
Okay, so let's just imagine you're using Bandcamp for this. You still need to premiere the music in somewhere else. You still need to give people a reason to find it. So whether that's available on YouTube channels like CSK or Trommel or Mixcloud, Mixmag or Data Transmission, there still has to be somewhere that people are going to find the music. That's the most important thing about self-releasing. If you have a small audience, self-releasing, you need to put it on a place that people are going to find it. You also need to follow the steps, exactly the sort I talked about, just where, like, the story of the artwork, the story behind the music, why have you made this track, when would you play this track, kind of thing. And for example, Spotify playlists, like, add it to your own playlist and then try and get it into the Data Transmission new techno playlist or some reason like that. There's got to be reasons that people are going to find this other than your own social media channels. And I think that's the trap that people fall into, because it's hard to self-release and you need somebody else to be in your corner a little bit to provide something that you haven't got. If you don't have a big Instagram audience, go and put this on a platform that's got a big Instagram audience. Or go and put it on a YouTube channel that's got a big audience. Because then you can use them to drive traffic to your Bandcamp. There always has to be something there. If you're self-releasing it and giving away for free, it still doesn't mean that you can't put it on a YouTube channel for free. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to use that as a place to get more people to listen to your music, always have an objective. And as well, like, have an objective of how many sales you want to make. Like, Beatport won't tell you instantly, but if you use Bandcamp, you can see what traffic's you're getting. You can see how many people listen to your music. So, like, have an objective of, like, I want to sell 1,000 self-copies on Bandcamp, and then make a strategy of how you're going to do it. Like, I think it's too easy sometimes to rely on distributors to go, right, so you've got self-release vinyl, we're going to take 400 copies of this. Great, job done. That's what you need a distributor for. But if you're just doing a self-release digital copy, have an idea of how many you want to sell, because then you can judge how successful it was. Not on how much money you make, but on generally, did you actually achieve what you wanted to? Beatport for, like, self-releasing isn't, like, instant. It's, like, takes months for your payout to come along, and obviously the only judge you have is charting. Whereas Bandcamp allows you to see how many people listen to it a day or how many people bought it a day. So it helps you understand what you need to do more of. If you only got 5 sales today, but you wanted 50, you didn't do anything right, did you? that's really important.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Andrew, for joining us this afternoon. I hope you've all learned a lot. If you have, go and subscribe to his newsletter. Go and follow him on social media and give him some love, gang. Thank you for doing it last minute as well. Literally, I texted you yesterday and said, do you want to come on?
Yeah, absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Did you like those tips? Weren't they banging? Which ones are you going to try yourself in your social media today? Let me know which one you do in the comments below. If you really got value out of this, give this video a like. It really helps with that YouTube algorithm. It helps the video go further and it helps it show to other people. And if you really enjoyed it, hit that little red button, the subscribe one, and you'll get the videos first. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio. Bye-bye.